In 1942, Isaac Asimov proposed his first law of robotics. It dictates that a robot may not injure a human being, or, by extension, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. For most of the 20th century, this was a thought experiment. It existed to create drama in science fiction, exploring what might happen if a machine failed to intervene when a life was on the line. In reality, human inaction during a medical crisis is often the difference between a recovery and a fatality. When we are alone and incapacitated, the simple inability to reach for help creates a vacuum that current technology is only beginning to fill. 75-year-old Christine Peters encountered this vacuum in her Bournemouth flat. While cleaning, she lost her balance and fell, left pinned to the floor. With a broken wrist and a fractured knee, Christine was physically locked in place. Her mobile phone was in another room, and her emergency pull cord was several feet above her head, perfectly functional yet entirely useless in her current position. She lay there until she remembered the smart speaker sitting on her counter. Because it was always listening for its wake word, she was able to use her voice to bypass her physical limitations. Asimov's concept that a machine could be the barrier between a human and the consequences of their own fragility is moving from the pages of a short story into our physical environment. Christine called out to her Amazon Alexa and instructed it to dial her friend, Dee. Dee acted as a relay, using the speaker to talk Christine through the panic while alerting on-site staff. By the time the ambulance arrived, the speaker had already served as a technology-enabled lifeline. This is a reactive application of the first law.
It uses a tool to extend a human's reach, allowing them to initiate their own rescue even when they cannot move their limbs. The engineering behind these emergency systems traces back to 1995, a year that forced a change in how we think about rescue technology. Following the Kobe earthquake in Japan and the Oklahoma City bombing in the US, roboticists realized that human responders were being stopped by physical barriers that machines could potentially navigate. These early robots and modern smart speakers provide a significant advantage, but they share a bottleneck. They remain idle until a human either directs them or provides the prompt to act. The real test of an autonomous guardian occurs when the human is not just incapacitated, but unconscious. If a user cannot call for help, the machine must identify the crisis on its own. This is the logic behind the Google Pixel Watch 3 and its FDA-approved loss of pulse detection feature. The hardware uses a green light sensor to track blood flow through the skin. It monitors the rhythmic pulse to ensure the heart is maintaining a steady biological signature. A specialized AI algorithm monitors this data in real time. If the wearer suffers a cardiac arrest or respiratory failure, the rhythmic pulse wave flatlines, and the system registers the exact biometric signature of a medical emergency. If the device detects no movement and gets no response from the user, it follows an autonomous protocol. It automatically dials emergency services and transmits an alert for immediate aid. Because the system identifies and responds to a life-threatening event without any manual input, it represents a literal application of Asimov's first law. Shifting the responsibility of health monitoring from the wearer to an algorithm changes the relationship we have with our electronics. We are granting machines the authority to make decisions on our behalf. This authority is currently forcing a rewrite of real-world policy, turning science fiction principles into legal and ethical frameworks for the industry. In the UK, the EPSRC has established a foundational set of ethical principles to govern this transition into autonomous assistance. These mandates specify that robots must be safe and secure, but also that humans must always remain the legally responsible agents. Machines are not permitted to exploit vulnerable users or forge emotional dependencies that could be used for manipulation. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella has introduced a parallel set of rules specifically for the design of artificial intelligence. Nadella's principles require that AI be transparent and designed to proactively assist humanity, maximizing efficiency without overriding or destroying human dignity. By engineering devices capable of recognizing a flatlined pulse and calling for help, we have moved the first law of robotics out of literature. It is now a functioning, everyday safety net built into the fabric of our lives.